Mandela contractor says August deadline is impossible. Bus driver on remand for fatal accident. Over 50 improvised weapons found in the Guyana prisons. And more concerning revelations about the Gas to Shore project. I am Noriko Bulford and welcome to tonight's edition of Uncut News. Sino Hydro Corporation, the construction firm working on the Sheriff Mandela Road, said they will not be able to meet the August 4th deadline for the project. According to Edgel, they said they needed more time because the rainy days have pushed them further behind schedule. A new deadline has been proposed, but seeing as Edgel wants to have the project done well before year's end, the Public Works Ministry is going to pressure the Chinese to shorten that new deadline. Since recommencing work last September, the contracting firm said it has been focusing on completing the drainage works first, as it is most crucial to the project. While road widening has commenced, the placement of crush and run and paving is largely dependent on the completion of the drainage works. According to the Guyana Post Office Corporation, folks are lying upon them about the millions in unaccounted pension funds. They say that accounts for pension payments have been reconciled monthly for years. They gave some huge roundabout explanation that even I couldn't understand fully, to be honest. Nevertheless, they said that the corporation's financial team is willing to sit down with the Auditor General and the Ministry in order to address and clarify any outstanding issues. Oh well, that's their issue to solve, not mine. 18-year-old Chetram Gopal is currently in the hospital after he was chopped for stealing ducks from a farm at number 67 Village Quarantine. The cops say he was caught by the 52-year-old farmer early Wednesday morning. The man told the police that he grabbed the cutlass after he noticed the teenager had a knife and claimed that the teen charged him, so he decided to chop him several times. Gopal was taken to the hospital while the farmer has since turned himself in to the police. 23-year-old minibus driver Kevon Moore has just been remanded to prison for the deadly accident over the weekend that claimed the lives of 2 teenagers. He was charged with 2 counts of causing death by dangerous driving, being an unlicensed driver, breach of insurance, driving under the influence of alcohol, and failure to render assistance. He pleaded not guilty to all the charges and was granted bail in the sum of $1 million. But he was remanded to August 9th as he was not able to pay the bail. But you know who can kill a young person on the road and make bail? Gary Best! Life could be so unfair. Are you one of the chosen few that benefits from duty-free? Good for you! Check out these amazing vehicles that just arrived at Best Buy Auto Sales. This 2016 Toyota Harrier Grand Sports Edition, this 2014 Range Rover Evoque, and this 2016 Lexus RX 200T are all on sale. They are all fully loaded and come with all modern features. Call or WhatsApp 662-0844 for more info, or visit their showrooms at Lot 171 Peter Road Street, Queenstown, or Lot 2 Lamar Street, and tell them Noriko sent you to get in on a sweet deal. The hemp industry in Guyana is now one step closer to returning, as the cabinet has now to give its approval on the legality of the plant. According to Mandela, cabinet had requested advice on whether the variety of hemp proposed is on the schedule of prohibited substances under the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Control Act. Which is stupid, because it's not. I mean, seriously, it hasn't been on that list since 1972. Look it up. Anyway, Mandela confirmed this fact, and therefore it was agreed that they would move forward with the framework for the industry. So, grow baby grow. Last night, one security guard with poor trigger discipline accidentally shot his colleague while they were on duty at the Ion Chinese supermarket at Plaisance on the East Coast. The two were chatting when his shotgun allegedly discharged around for no good reason, striking his co-worker in the legs. That's what you call a negligent discharge. Shortly after, the suspect tried to clear his firearm, only to experience another negligent discharge. Fortunately for Frenno with the lead legs, that round actually missed him. The victim is currently being treated while the suspect is in police custody, where he will hopefully never have access to a weapon ever again. This morning, the GPF and the prison service decided to give the inmates at Camp Street and Lusignan a wake-up call. And by a wake-up call, I mean seize all their contraband, and in this contraband raid, the officers were able to locate over 50 shivs, chunks, sticks, and all other types of improvised weapons that they can use to kill each other with. They also found a couple grams of weed, of course, several cell phones, chargers, lighters, and of course a bottle of prison wine, or as they call it in Rikers Island, Pruno. Have a business and need access to more goondu balls? Well, register it on one of the fastest growing business directories in Guyana. Sign up for free on snap.gy and get your business listed today. And yes, you heard me right, it's absolutely free. Get listed today on snap.gy. It's now time for today's Rona Report. Today, the nation recorded 74 new cases. There are now 518 persons dead, 17 persons in the ICU, 1,095 persons in home isolation. The total number of confirmed cases around the nation now stands at 21,807. So please, people, wash your hands frequently. Avoid touching your nose and mouth and mask up before you leave the house. When you do leave home, try to avoid enclosed spaces and large crowds. And remember to give 6 feet of space between you and others. Last night, an off-duty cop working as a taxi driver got caught with a bag of weed in Stanleytown on the West Bank. According to the police, they stopped the car of the 26-year-old off-duty policeman after seeing a bulky parcel thrown out of the window. A 28-year-old man was also in the vehicle at the time. The 28-year-old claimed ownership of the 231 grams of ganja, but refused to give a statement. The driver claims he is an off-duty policeman who works a private hire taxi on his off-duty hours. The main suspect was taken into custody while the policeman was placed under close arrest. A quick cent is better than a slow dollar. Sell Digicel top-up and watch your money grow. This is one of the simplest investments you can make to let your money earn you money. Call 685-3109 and get started today. It's now time for our stupid news of the day. You know what I think is stupid? The fact that the $900 million gas to shore project is loaded with hidden costs the government found it unnecessary to even tell us. Apparently, the project will actually cost GPL several $million extra to connect the existing system to the new plant. The feasibility study for the plant explains that GPL will have to spend money it doesn't even have yet to construct a line from the plant to their site in New Sophia, then another between Good Hope and Columbia Village on the Essequibo coast. This is all according to Culture News, by the way. Anyway, while this is expected to provide stable electricity to more Guyanese than ever before, one still has to ask, why wasn't this additional connection mentioned before? Or worse yet, why wasn't the cost for said connections included in the sticker cost? But the biggest question I have is that seeing that we are seeking to grow even further into the hinterland, why are we spending hundreds of millions of US dollars to build one centralized plant on the coastland when it would be far cheaper to make multiple renewable energy plants and just connect them all to each other? That way, if one goes down, the others will pick up. All I'm trying to say is that for a country that is trying to preserve its green, eco-friendly status, building such an expensive pollution-causing white elephant in the name of progress feels pretty stupid. You there, Mr. Truck Owner. A great place to get high-quality truck parts and engine spares for low prices is Powered Automotive. They stock spares for DAF, Freightliner, Mach International, and all models of Cummins engines. Visit them at Lot 1161 EE Eccles or call them on 697-0171. Save big on truck parts at Powered Automotive, the #1 heavy-duty truck parts store in Guyana. Real thing. Moving on to our Uncut News Views Poll question of the day. Every day we pose a question about current events in the nation, the region, the diaspora, and how you feel it relates to us. So, you give your responses in the comments, and we'll read the best ones in the following episode. Yesterday's question was, how do you feel about the PSC's vaccine proposal? NG the Atheist says, get the vaccine or go home. Sounds better to me. They got vaccinated people that want jobs, and if you can't get vaccinated for some medical reason, you need to lock yourself in a bubble and not come to work because we are in the middle of a pandemic and your life depends on that. Well, that's one way of looking at it. So, for tonight's question, should penalties be put in place for contractors who are late in completing the construction works for the nation? Think about that question and tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in our next episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight. Check us out tomorrow for another. Until then, I'm Enrico Bullford saying good night, folks. Hey, Uncut News viewers, thanks for watching. You can subscribe by clicking on this button over here, or click over there for more news. You can also drop a comment to let me know if you've made it to the end of the video. Goodbye for now.